All right, guys, yesterday we did sequences and series in section 1. Now we have a special kind of sequences and series called arithmetic. Arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which the differences in all the numbers are the same. If you look at the sequence right here, 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, the difference between each term is 3, and that's what arithmetic sequence is, when the differences are the same. And we're going to call that difference D. I think that's a good little, abbreviation. D for difference, did a difference. The math way you write that, if you write it in math language, remember how we did this yesterday? That means the next term is the previous term plus D. You just add the difference to get the next term. Works that way every time. So the first kind of problem you're going to see is it's going to say for each of the arithmetic sequences, just identify A1, which is the first term, and find the common difference. So A1's pretty easy. Just look in the front. First term is 4. The difference, you can find the difference always by doing the second term minus the first term. This time it's 5. Here, the first term is 34. The difference D, because the sequence is decreasing instead of increasing, the difference is -7. On the third one, the first term is 2, and the difference is going 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, so the difference is actually a half. You can put a half or you can put 0.5. Makes no difference to me. Pretty easy though. Just want to make sure you got what the abbreviations mean. Huge slide right here. You need to stop this or whatever. Make sure you write this down. The nth term of an arithmetic sequence. This is the formula we're going to use, and I forgot the n. It should be a real small n. Let me just write it. It should say this. The nth term is the first term plus n minus 1 times d. I'm going to take a little bit, 3 or 4 minutes in class tomorrow to tell you exactly where that formula came from. But for now, just make sure you have it and you get ready to use it, because we're going to use it a lot pretty much the rest of this video. All right. The next problem says find the 14th term of this one, and instead of I know they're just going up by 3, and some people will take the time and write 14 numbers out till they find the 14th term. I need you to get in the habit of using that formula you just saw. It was this one. The nth term is the first term plus n minus 1 times d. And just fill the stuff in. I'm looking for the 14th term, so that's what I'm looking for. The 14th term is the first term, which is 4. N means how many terms there are. If there are 14 terms, that means 14 minus 1 is 13, and d is 3 because the difference is 3. So just work that out. 13 times 3 is 39 plus 4 would be 40. I got messed up right there. It's 43. 43. And that would be the 14th term. If you wrote out all 14 terms, you're eventually going to get to 43 by the time you get to the 14th one. Okay, they're also going to have you go backwards. And they're going to say, okay, what term number is 301? Remember, term number is n. So they're asking you what term is n. What n is. Here's what I know. The same formula. We're going to use this over and over and over again. So the an, when you see an, it means the nth term or the last term. So the last term is 301. The first term we already know from up here was 4. I do not know what term number it is. I'm looking for n, but I do remember d is 3. D was 3. Now I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and move the 4 over, make that 297. Over here I have this still. And you have 2 options. You could distribute the 3 if you want to, and that's perfectly fine. But I think it might be easier here just to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. And what happens is over here I get n minus 1. 297 divided by 3 is 99. So my final number right there, just move the 1 over, add it to the 99, get 100. So 301, the number 301 is the 100th term in that sequence that we started with back on top up there. Please don't keep adding 3 until you get to 301 and figure out and then count them. Much easier to use the formula. Get used to using it. Okay, now we're going to do some sums. We're going to give you arithmetic sequences and have you add up all the terms in them. And this is a great formula. And again, I will take the time in class tomorrow because it'll help you remember it, to show you where it came from and the story behind it. And it's really good. And I'm just going to save that for tomorrow. But the way you find it is you do n over 2. Don't forget what n means. N means how many terms there are. A1 means first term, AN means last term. So you take your first term and last term, add them up, multiply it by the number of terms divided by 2. And I'll explain that, try to, so well for you tomorrow so it'll make complete sense. Okay, we're going to practice using it here in a couple slides. This one says find the sum of the first 16 terms of the sequence. So sum of the first 16 is the number of terms divided by 2 times the first term plus the last term. And I'm in trouble because I don't know what the 16th term is. When you do not know one of these things that are missing, you have to go back and use this one again. Use that same formula we were using earlier to find the 16th term, because I don't know what the 16th term is. So I'm going to try to find 16th term. I know the first term is 4. I know there's 16 terms, so 16 minus 1 is 15. And I know that the difference is 3. So I'm just going to punch that in my calculator. 3 times 15 is 45, plus 4 is 49. So that's the 16th term, and that goes right inside my parentheses right here, 49. So if I do the division on the outside, that's 8. If I add the 4 and the 49, that's 53. So your answer is just going to be whatever 8 times 53 is, which, if I'm not mistaken, that would be 424. So if you add up the first 16 terms of this sequence, even though we don't even know what the 16th term is yet, we're going to get to 424. Okay, one more. The last one is sigma, and before you freak out, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right off the top, sigma is the best. Whenever you have sigma, you have every bit of information you need to do the formula, just the sum formula. Remember, sigma means sum. You don't have to worry about using the other formula. You have everything you need. So here's what I know. If the bottom number is 1, the top number is 130, that means there are 130 terms. So I'm going to find the sum of 130 terms, which is a lot, by the way. So you do n over 2, 130 over 2. Now, to get your first term, don't forget how we did this the other day. To get your first term, you plug the 1 in there. And if you plug 1 in there, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 5 is 9. You get 9. To get your last term, you plug 130 in. 4 times 130 is 520, plus 5 is 525. So just working it out here, that's 65. That's going to be 534. I gotta get my calculator real quick. I thought I could do all these calculations in my head, but this is the last one stumping me a little bit. Let me see here. So I got 65 times 534, and that's 34,710. Probably would not have guessed that one. All right, so don't try to guess. Make sure you got your formulas. They're not that bad, especially tomorrow. I promise I'll explain where they come from. When you know where they came from, it makes it a lot easier to remember them. I promise you. So hopefully today's a little bit easier than yesterday even. Should be. Just arithmetic, just one kind of sequence. And I'll see you tomorrow and we'll go over it. See you, bye.